Welcome to the show. This is the Jay and Cody Show. Cody, how are you? How are you coping? How are you handling life at the moment?
Well, it's all right. I feel like if I hadn't gotten a new PS4 and a new TV, I would have gone into a very
You're so secular.
deep depression. Oh yeah, no, I'm totally materialistic. But I would have been in a deep depression by now, and actually I'm coping all right.
Is that right? You would have a deep depression.
Probably, and just a coma, probably a depressed coma.
I mean, I hope.
Me too.
I wish.
Sounds incredible. I could actually get some sleep.
There is the Billy Joe had the tagline. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day had the tagline, "Wake me up when it's 2020."
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
How great would that be? They just sleep for 4 years.
Speaking of which, 2020. Did you hear that Michelle may run? Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Would you vote for her?
Probably.
I
It
would.
depends who she's against, but...
Well, right, but
Yeah.
I mean, I really probably would vote for her. And I kind of, I've always said, I want to stay away from dynasties.
Yeah.
I'd hate, like, if she'd have run this time, I probably wouldn't have voted for her, just because I hate seeing dynasties in there.
Could she? Was my
I don't
question
know.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, could she have ran, you know?
Maybe, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have voted for her just because it's like the Bush thing. I hate seeing dynasties in there, especially back to back.
Well, I've never seen it back to back.
Right, I know. But what I'm saying with the Obamas would be, if she ran for 2020, I'd vote for her.
I think well...
Because then you'd have a first man who's just incredible.
Here's what I like the idea of. Is us liberals saying, you know, okay, you guys chose Trump. All right. I'll take that, and I'll raise that a Kanye West for 2020.
Oh, God.
Fuck you. You want to go crazy? We'll go fucking crazy.
Oh, man.
I mean, I probably would, too. If I could
Really?
harness this energy I have right now about it, then yes, I would, just to be an asshole.
Sure.
You know...
You know what one of my friends tried to tell me? I don't ever talk politics unless they're family or really good friends. But I made the mistake of opening my mouth to this guy. You know what he tried to tell me? That Michelle shouldn't ever run because she was a first lady.
What the
Now,
does that matter?
Let that sink in, considering the fact that he wanted to vote for Hillary.
Did he?
Yes.
How old is this guy?
20.
Oh, he's a fucking moron.
Hey.
I hate to be that way, but
No, but I'm just saying.
probably
like,
didn't even remember Clinton ever being... Well, he
Probably.
couldn't,
Probably.
because he wasn't alive, but...
But I'm like, okay, dude. No, it was...
Is
Honestly,
he like an anti-Obama person?
Yeah, he was.
How can you be
I don't know.
anti-Obama and pro-Hillary?
And he's a Democrat. I don't know. I really don't.
Here's something interesting. Obama made 500 promises throughout
Sure.
his campaign. He came through on 73% of those.
And
That's a lot of fucking...
That's with a lot of Republicans in there. Can you imagine if it had been...
Oh, I know.
Like right
Yeah.
now, if he was in the position that Donald Trump was in, where it was mostly Democrats...
Like, everything will go?
Oh my God. You know how much... He probably would have gotten 85, closer to 90% done.
Probably 100. I mean...
That'd be great.
If no one's to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the things that he pushed through, he had to do the executive action thing, and...
Yep.
Which is what's really going to fuck his legacy up.
Yeah.
Because now that can be reversed if it had gone
Right.
through the proper channels.
But it couldn't have gone. I
But
mean, it wouldn't have
right.
gone.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. The House would have stopped it. The Senate would have... Yeah. Which is...
No, I don't understand. Even if you disagree with some of the stuff, how can you say he wasn't a good president on the sole fact just he got 73% out of 500 promises done? And I think we've mentioned this before. It was pure. It was a pure 8 years. Not
Yeah.
just one term, 2 terms. 8 years in the campaign, nothing came up. And 8 years in the office, nothing
But
came
Cody,
up.
the WikiLeaks stuff, he knew about
Right,
Clinton.
yeah, right. Yeah. Come on.
Like, for one, he's got a lot of other shit going on. Do you
Right.
think he really gave a shit about these emails?
And not everything's up to him. He doesn't have power over everything.
No. Not
And
to mention, one of the interesting things with the fucking emails... You know, like, what they had for lunch is considered
Right.
sensitive.
Oh my
sensitive
God, I know.
Like, there's just not that. I
And
don't know.
people, I mean, not to detract away from how great Obama did, but people put too much
On
in
the
their minds.
presidency.
Yeah, they think that they have so much power, but they really don't have a lot.
I'm actually happy about that.
Me too. I
And
mean,
one
if
of
he
my-
did have a lot, he would have gotten so much more done.
One of my things that I'm kind of pumped up for, as far as, you know, for 8 years, I have to listen to people, you know, talk shit on Obama and say, this is your president, he didn't do this, he sucks at... And you're sitting there like, well, you know, this is why, and blah, blah. I don't have to do that anymore. Now,
Yeah.
I get to be the person who's lighting the fires and saying, look at your fucking president, just destroying everything. I don't have to, you
and
know.
on the other end, though...
But I guarantee you, they will be the ones that aren't answering, you know, because they don't even fucking know. Like,
Well, it's just like one of our associates, how when we asked him a couple days ago, well, what do you think about Russia celebrating? When he went, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about that. Oh, really? You don't?
yeah.
And by the way, did really nobody have a problem with the fact that he's so heavily endorsed by the KKK openly? This isn't even like
No.
this isn't even
And
like
he
a
didn't
rumor.
denounce them in public.
No.
He could have came out and said, hey, you know what, fuck you guys.
This isn't even like a rumor where it's like, oh, he may be... It's not a rumor like Hillary Clinton being supported by ISIS is.
Right.
That's a rumor. But the fact that the KKK openly endorsed him and he never once came out and be like, no, guys, this is not
If
true.
I was running for something and the KKK endorsed
Oh my
me,
God.
I would tell them
I don't
publicly, I would say, get the fuck off my bandwagon.
And you know what? People talk about Clinton being rigged. I say Trump is. The fact, not literally, but if anybody is, it's Trump because he's offended everyone. I don't know how he got elected. He's offended basically everyone except white males.
More people wanted to vote for him. Wait, no, that's not what happened. More people didn't vote
Yeah,
for him.
exactly.
No, which is funny because he had, up until Election Day, every day he tweeted about how rigged our system is, the electoral
Right.
college is fucked up,
Maybe
and then
he was-
that's how he won.
Maybe he was doing that to take away attention from it being rigged with him.
Maybe.
I mean, that's...
I don't think so.
Don't write me, don't quote me on that. I'm just throwing ideas, but
Yeah.
honestly...
Again, I don't think so, but I don't know. On top of the things that I would say get me pissed off, I have to bring up one individual, one person's empire that I think should be done now. We should definitely get rid of and be done with Alex fucking Jones.
Oh my God.
I can't
I agree.
stand that fear-mongering,
He should be
racist
out of a job.
asshole. I mean, he won.
Yeah.
He said, it's one world government trying to take over,
Right.
and blah, 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 blah,
It's a
blah.
good impression.
Yeah, I try. And now, his fucking president won, so be done. You're done. Quit. You don't have anything to talk about now.
Yep.
CIA operatives
Oh my God.
from Obama have known that he is a Satanist who rapes children.
Right.
You're done. But I guarantee you, anyone listening that listens to Alex Jones, something will come up with Trump. Mm-hmm. He will find something wrong with Trump.
Yep.
So he can keep this shock kind of
Right. It's shocking
fear
awe.
monger, be afraid, buy my shit. And, I can't stand his... And you've listened to him. I had you listen to 30 minutes.
It was the worst 30 minutes of my life.
The thing... And I used to listen to Alex Jones a lot, me and my friends would listen to him just to laugh at him. Or before we did the show a couple years ago, I'd listen to him before we recorded so I could get pumped up, angry. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, and I could say so many things about the fear mongering, about the fact that he gives no details on anything. He just paints broad strokes.
Yeah.
I could say, all the papers, all the TV shows, they're all talking about Cody sucking a dick. But if I don't say anything specific,
Right.
you can't nail it.
Right.
Damn.
And that's what he does. He
And-
never does. He puts enough out there to kind of reel you in, but he never nails it. He
No.
never points exactly specifics.
And he was talking about Trump yesterday, and he was saying, Trump is he's draining the swamp and blah blah blah, and which he's not, by the way.
Yeah.
But the one thing I noticed is he never said, when he was talking about the team that Trump should build up, he never used any specific individuals.
right.
He never said a certain name.
No.
Like,
Because then you're open to being wrong.
Exactly.
If you're just
and
throwing...
he can't turn around on those same people later.
Right, exactly.
He made that mistake with Sanders. When Sanders first came into the picture, oh, he's a socialist, he's in with the Russians, and he's blah, blah, blah. But then remember when Trump tried to use Sanders, like say, hey, listen, I'm with his people.
Yeah.
Well, then
Right.
Alex Jones was like, well, Sanders is still one of the good guys. Blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And then just a day later, he's like talking shit. Like, he can't pick his own narrative.
And by the way, Sanders is a socialist, but
He's
people
a
don't-
neo-socialist.
Right.
I mean,
People, they hear socialist and they think like Cold War.
right.
Which, by the way, is communism, for starters.
Yeah.
But they think socialist and they're thinking Hitler, and which... actually-
Still annoys me. Some of our best things that we have in America is socialism.
Yeah.
Socialism is not a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Not in total. I mean...
No, not in total. And, I mean, my stepdad, he's made his career. He's a fireman.
Yeah.
He's made his career off of socialism.
No. And, like, do I think everything should be that way? No.
No.
Not at all. But it's the same way, like, for any of you football fans, if you've got... Your offense shouldn't pass every down.
No.
You've got to mix it up. Like, there's got to be variety throughout how you run anything.
And I really hated all these people who were saying, oh, he just wants to give away free college. No, he's not giving. They were so focused on him giving free stuff. Like, that's not at all. If you look at his
and
policies...
you get a college, and you
right,
get a
like
college.
he's Oprah Winfrey. Like, no, he's not giving free anything. You're just paying for it in a different way. A better way.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know where they got this free... See, what they
That's
saw
like
was...
the free insurance.
Right.
We don't get fucking free insurance.
No.
It's just it's at a reduced price.
Right, and they saw, all they saw was we aren't going to have to pay for college. That's all they saw. Like, no, you are, but you're not going to have to pay for it up front.
But here's
You're
what they
paying through
took.
taxes.
Here's what they took with it is they're going to take money out of our military and blah blah blah, and then give it to these kids for college.
No.
But no, Alex Jones. As far as I'm concerned, I could nail him on so many things. There again, the fear mongering, the horrible journalism. I could go personal with him and say that he's banging one of his people, and that's why his wife left him. And his company is actually ran by a bunch of Zionists.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's a big deal. For me, I don't care if you're ran by a Jewish group. I don't care. Yeah.
Unless you're anti-Semitic.
But he kind of is.
Yeah, right.
I could go through all those, but I'm going to go through the fact that I used to listen to him, like I said, and it would be 15, 20-minute segments. He would talk, and he would say some outlandish shit, but he was kind of going somewhere with it. But now, here's what he does. He plays a bit that he recorded. He will talk for about 3 minutes saying some outlandish shit, and then, okay, well, we're going to take a break.
Right.
And then you got fucking, I don't know, 15 minutes of commercial hawking his shit.
Yeah.
This is for super male vitality. It helps you, whatever.
Yeah.
Liver cleanse, butthole cleanse, whatever.
I could use that.
I thought that's what you called Tyrone. All sorts of buying gold, buying this.
Right, yeah.
I actually timed the show yesterday, and he did 20 minutes of actual live talking, which is more than we do in a show, by the way. And it was an hour of commercials or just like bits he was playing, and then 2 hours of best of.
Wow.
And he gets paid. His net worth is like, if I remember right, it was like $16 million. His fucking people buy into this shit.
We have more than 20 minutes, though.
Yeah, we talk more than 20 minutes. Yeah. And we're not a big mogul.
Yeah.
My thing, if I was a listener, and why I say this is bigger, is because he's duping his people, his base. He's saying, listen, I'm not going to talk very much. I want you to buy my shit, and I'm just going to kind of pander into your fears.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to sell you on those fears. Because I'm going to sell you fucking survival vests.
Yeah.
And fucking tons of food. And I'm going to tell you the economy's going to crash. We're all going to be fucked. Everyone's going to need, you know, and it's like, what he's doing is the kid's cartoon to cereal.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yep.
Like, tricks came from a cartoon kind of thing, or, you know, that's kind of what he's doing. And, like, I can't, above and beyond all, that's what irritates me more than anything.
Oh, I know.
Like, just being an entertaining weirdo, all right.
Sure.
I mean, I'll still get annoyed by saying all these falsities and blah, 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 but openly just taking advantage of these people.
And
here's the other thing. He claims, and I don't know if it's true, I know, like, on our YouTube, we get a lot of third-party watchers, which doesn't actually show up as views.
Okay.
So I can't disprove what he's saying, but he said last week, one of his show had like 90 million views.
Wow.
Like, if that's true, that fucking scares me.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I mean, unless there's a good number of people listening to just get irritated by it,
Maybe.
like I do. I mean,
I doubt it.
Or to laugh at it.
I doubt it.
I mean, I know, like, Kevin and Bean, they takes, like, you know, little segments of what he says and just plays them, because he goes off on, like, these crazy rants, which are insane, but they'll just do it to make fun of him.
Yeah, and it just, I don't know. The thing that irritates me about him is the whole, he never says anything specifically. You say enough to get people scared, but you don't really tell them why you're supposed to be scared.
Yeah.
He'll say the market's going to crash, but he doesn't say why.
Or when.
How. Yeah, when. He never says any of this stuff. And I always prefer facts over anything else. So if you can't tell me why, then fuck off.
And he's one of those guys, too, that everything tragic didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's a government conspiracy.
Right.
You know, the Boston bombing, Newtown, all that shit. And, like, we'll say a buddy of ours, Jim Norton, had offered him $50,000 to go talk to the Newtown parents. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, if it didn't happen, go talk to them. Go tell them. Tell them it didn't happen.
Right.
And he wouldn't do it, of course.
Right.
You know.
Well, the Boston bombing, how can you say that didn't happen? There's video. I've seen video of the explosion happening. I've seen video of people's arms coming off.
Yeah, he completely says it did not happen.
And I don't get that.
They put people, like, they put vets in place, like vets that have gotten hurt and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And those are the people that got hurt in the Boston bombing. You know, that's what he kind of... It's everything, too.
Yeah.
You know, and I get some of... Like the whole Kennedy thing. You're not insane if you question if Kennedy was actually killed by Oswald.
Why?
Well, there's a lot of weird, like, for one, the route that Kennedy took was never used before or after. It was just that one day. And the reason why is because there's so many buildings where people, and there's so many blind spots.
Yeah.
So that kind of seems weird. They changed that route the day before he got there. The fact that his head went back, but he was shot from behind.
Whoa. I don't know.
And have you been to Dealey Plaza?
No.
Oh, you got to go sometime. It's just kind of interesting. It's weird. There's a lot of people that are there, and they have like a picture, and they just want to tell you because they were there. They made a living off of hanging out there and telling stories. They're like, hey, $5 and take a picture with me, and I'll tell you about the day. Like,
cool.
All right, I guess. Oh, you know, whatever. And the one thing a lot of people say is there was a kind of like a hill, which, by the way, Dealey Plaza is a lot smaller than I thought it was.
Okay.
Kind of like everything that I noticed, like a professional football game. You watch it and you're like, it looks really big.
Yeah.
And then you're there and you're like, this isn't as big as I thought it would be.
Right.
You know, but it's not that far away. The hill, quote unquote, where they said there was smoke coming from that area after Kennedy got shot. Like a gun.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm saying you're not crazy to speculate on that. But Boston bombing, Newtown, 9/11, fucking Columbine, come on. Like,
right.
My point, as I say, though, is it's not even all that drives me insane. You have the right to talk about that, and you have the right to believe in conspiracies and whatever. but to not talk about shit, really.
Well, here's the thing. I have the right to run into a theater and yell fire or bomb. I have the right to do that. I have the right of speech, but you still got to deal with the consequences.
That's true.
If you're going to get on air and talk about pretty much nothing, you got to deal with the fact that people are going to make fun of you. Like
They're
us.
not.
I know.
And that's what kills me, too.
I know.
I don't know. Like, why? Like, how he's allowed to do this.
Right.
Who listens to him just paint these broad... But you're right. He's talking about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
He's saying stuff, but...
He says he's talking a lot, but he doesn't really say anything.
Exactly. And he does it for about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we're going to break.
Right.
Long fucking break, plays a bit, then says some shit that's very vague, and we'll tell you more after the break.
Right.
Never does. He's got something else going on. I just, like, above... And maybe it's because that's what I'm not going to say it's what I do, but this is kind of what we do now. And that's what irritates me more. It's like, fucking that's just lazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm not going to say we're never going to sell any products. We might.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
not going to fucking sell you, like, coffee, though. I'm not going to sell
Right.
you a liver cleanse.
Here's the thing, though. He's taking the easy way out, in my opinion, because that... sorry. That means you can come out with absolutely no material prepared.
No prep work at all.
Anybody
Yeah.
can do that, and I don't like that. That's why, just watching football, it's a very different view, but that's why I like football. Not everybody can play in the NFL.
No.
Even if you're third string, you had to work to get
You're
there.
still an
Not
amazing athlete.
Anybody can play high school, and not everybody
Well,
can
I
play in
wouldn't
the
even
NFL.
say not everyone can play high school. There are a lot of people
Right.
that are, just not,
Right. But, I mean, when you get out there with no material, anybody can do that.
Pretty
Any
much.
Joe Schmo could do that. But to actually
and
put
it's
on a
one
good
thing to-
show
yeah.
with material and back it up, that's something that not everyone can do.
And when you're making claims about stuff, you need to have
Right.
material.
Right.
You have to be prepped. Like, I love the O&A show or Todd and Tyler.
Yep.
And those guys, for the most part, well, O&A not existent anymore, but
Right.
they had like these little guidelines they'd follow, but they weren't on script by any.
Right. I mean, it's
He's
good to
not
have
even-
an outline, I think, so you're not just all over the place.
Right.
But you don't have to follow it to the letter.
But he's not even on like a script.
No.
He just says because.
He just wings it.
And it's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna say all this shit, but I'm not gonna say anything specific. I fucking hate him, and I can't imagine
And
why
I think,
he's as popular.
I think that's really crappy because he shouldn't be as big as he is, considering he really doesn't say anything. But then people like Norton and Opie Anthony, they're not as big as Alex Jones is, and that's crap. The fact that they come out here with all this stuff prepared, they put on a really good show.
I will say, I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends where you're at. But the O&A show was one of the biggest shows of all
Right.
time.
But I mean now.
Oh,
it seems
yeah.
like everybody knows. Seems like everybody knows who Alex Jones is, whether you like him or not. But like nobody knows who Jen Norton is,
No.
and that's crap.
Or if
It-
we say Opie Radio, people are like, who the fuck?
Right.
Who the
And
fuck's that?
I mean that's
That's bullshit. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're amazing at what they
Yeah.
do at their job, and
they back it up. They have really good shows. They aren't constantly
very
advertising.
entertaining. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
they're
not
funny as
just
hell, too.
it's not just to sell shit.
And I just don't think that's fair. I mean, I hate saying, oh, that's not fair. I really hate saying that, but it's not.
You would be in line with our president, though.
Oh, yeah,
President-elect.
Right, yeah.
Dude, like, the fucking guy, and I hate to turn corners on this, but the fucking guy
Take it easy,
can't
Alex
get
Jones.
through, like, a fucking week without going to Twitter
Oh, my God.
and feeding into his own rhetoric.
Up at 3 a.m., bashing someone.
Yeah, well, he's texting the protesters. He texted and said, it's unfair that they did this the night of my inauguration.
Right.
For one, it's not your inauguration, bitch.
No, it's not.
But two, unfair. Like, you're supposed to be the fucking president.
So,
Step up.
so
Unify.
basically, we don't have the right to speak.
No.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he'll.
And that just plays even more into the libel laws.
Yeah, 100%.
He doesn't want us to speak.
And as we were talking before, draining the swamp.
Uh-huh.
Everyone that I saw release that's in his cabinet is from K Street.
Yeah.
All lobbyists from the W
Yeah.
administration.
Sure.
He also mentioned, here's a few extras that are going to be fun. Giuliani. And Giuliani
Yep.
has openly said he he wants to get the federal government involved in marijuana reform.
Yep.
Because he doesn't believe it. Him and Chris Christie say that it's a gateway drug and people don't have restraint. Fuck you, Chris Christie. How you have no fucking restraint. Don't tell me about restraint. Right? I can put a cheeseburger down, you fat fuck.
Honestly.
No, it pisses me off when some fat ass smoking asshole tells me how to have restraint. You know? You can suck my ass.
No, honestly. And by the way, here's the thing. Some things I can understand that you don't want the public delving in. Murder.
Crack.
That's one. Yeah, sure. But come on, for the most part, you can't baby people. You got to let them figure out for themselves. If that's part of life. If you make the wrong decisions, that sucks. Do your best to what's the word? To fix it, basically.
Rectify it?
Rectify. Yeah, that's exactly it. But weed, come on.
No.
If you see, here's the thing: the people who are against weed are either religious or they haven't looked at the facts, or both. If you look at the facts, it's not hard to tell. It's not a gateway drug. They're THC. We've been making serious medical breakthroughs. Parkinson's. That's been a really big one over the last few months.
Yeah.
They've been treating people. Dogs.
Cancer.
Seizures.
Yeah. That's what like a lot of people. Because their kids have seizures.
Yeah.
And like,
even their animals. They've been using with animals in healthy and normal dosage. Their dogs aren't getting stoned. They can still operate. Same with the people. The people can still... They think that we're all getting stoned.
Yeah, they're taking out those cannabinoids and putting in...
Right.
You know, I don't exactly know how the tincture works. But yeah, it's not... It doesn't get you high.
No.
You know...
You're not going out there and getting stoned every time you need to help with your seizure. That's not... You can still operate on a daily basis just like normal.
You're not getting your kids stoned so they'll eat when they've got chemo.
Right.
Or so they'll stop having seizures.
No, by the way...
But well, hold on. You want to talk about getting stoned, though. There was... And I hate to do an Alex Jones here because I can't remember his name. But a scientist... Or I can't remember... But out of Yale... Did prove... that the Adderall that we give our kids and that we all take, I mean, I don't take it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
It's completely cool. Everyone's on Adderall. Yay. Is basically meth.
Yep.
Like,
exactly.
It's only a fraction off from being meth.
Yep.
But that's good.
Right.
That's okay.
And the fact that studies have shown, by the way, the fact that people who don't do chemo when they have cancer live longer.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And they die less pain. They make cancer... I mean, cancer sucks. It does. But they make cancer out like it's this awful thing.
I really want to see the study. Like, I don't want to combat you on air, but I really want to see the...
I'll find it for you.
Yeah. Because, like my father-in-law has cancer, and he's been in chemo twice. And, I mean, from what I understand, not chemo, he'd be dead. I don't know.
What kind of cancer did he have, though?
Stomach cancer.
See, there are different types. I mean, especially stuff like pancreatic.
And I don't want people to listen to us and be like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to go get my you know what I mean?" So that's why I bring that
I'm not
up,
saying
kind of as a disclaimer.
Well, right. I mean, I'm talking more terminal, the stuff where because
you're going to bite the bullet either way.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, there is some cancer that's like, okay, you can fix that. Chemo will suck, but you'll live.
You can fight it.
But the study was more geared towards like pancreatic. We'll just say that'll kill you quick either way.
Yeah.
But stuff where you're for sure going to die, the people who didn't do chemo and get radiation, they lived longer.
Well, and I heard people, and there's a story there again. It's actually not, because I think everybody has heard this story, where the lady had tumors in her brain, and she used the a THC tincture. And she was given a couple months to live, and she's still, like, that was like 10 years ago, and she's still alive now.
Right.
You know, because the cannabinoids apparently will shrink your cancer. Not all of them,
it
but
won't
some
get
of
rid
them.
of it, but it'll shrink it.
And it'll keep them shrunk.
And sometimes it can shrink it enough where your body can do the rest of the work, where the T cells can come in and just basically kill them off.
Yeah, see, I don't know exactly how that works. I'm fucking horrible at science. Biology.
The white blood cells pretty much are the virus, bacteria fighters. They're what fights the bad things in your body. And they're what comes in. And so, like, when you have cancer, you have a deficiency. of white blood cells, and so they aren't doing enough. And sometimes
I thought that was AIDS.
Well, it is. Well, yeah. I mean,
I thought that was what they called the Cody.
but Falcons are up. Sorry, we're once again watching football. No, it frustrates me because one of the things that I was really gearing towards for Hillary was the legalization of weed, and not because I'm like, oh, now I can go out and smoke it whenever I want. No. Not because of that. I was thinking economically.
Exactly.
And medically.
I mean, you use it, I don't know, I would say you're like the typical, you use it every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't smoke at all.
Yeah.
But we both are definitely for the legalization. You
Yeah.
know, especially in our great state. You know, that would be amazing.
Oh,
We
yeah.
could turn things around.
And,
you know, I hate to say it, but it'll never happen. We live in Kansas and fucking...
I think it could have with Obama. I really do.
Or, yeah.
If he'd have had a third term, I bet it could have.
I wish.
Look how much progress he made in this last term with weed. I bet it could have.
And you know it sucks, because people, if you voted for Trump and for weed, you're a moron.
You fucked yourself.
You should go slit your wrist and jump off a bridge. You know, I mean, because you're an idiot and you don't think.
No, you completely screwed
By
yourself.
the way, I was kidding. That was from a Undead song, but
That's a good song.
it is a really good song. But like, if you don't understand the players around that situation, then why the fuck would you do it? And I get it. You hate the system. You think it needs to change. But Trump is basically staying on the same system.
Yeah, I mean...
Except for, he's adding a key component.
Racism.
Sarah Palin.
Oh, God.
Aren't you excited?
Oh, I'm
She's
thrilled.
going to be in the cabinet.
No, I'm thrilled. She's
I mean-
one of the most intelligent people
Right.
ever.
Oh, and she's so boneable.
Oh.
Which, by the way, she's not anymore.
Who said that?
That was the whole thing. In 08,
Really?
or whenever, yeah, it was 08,
Oh, my God. I don't remember that.
a lot of people considered her a MILF. Like, she's pretty hot.
Eminem had her in one of his songs.
I don't remember the
I
song,
can't remember
but
what
I know
song
what you're
it was.
talking
Yeah.
about. But yeah, no, that was a thing. A lot of people were like, yeah, but she's hot. Like, she's a moron, but she's pretty hot. I hate her.
Right,
And I
yeah.
can't stand the way she talks.
I hate her because she's dumb.
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Ugh.
I hate her because she's dumb. I don't think she's ugly. Maybe to some people she is
At one point,
attractive.
she was attractive.
Yeah, but it's
She
just
kind of
that...
looked like, what's her name? There was Tina Fey used to do a really...
Yeah.
And Tina Fey's
Tina
pretty
Fey's hot.
Yeah.
It's a person. I think we've been over this. It's a personality thing with me. She's a moron, so I don't find her attractive. Same with if you're not funny at all. Like if your jokes make me cringe, I will never nail you.
That's
Never.
why we have yet to have sex.
Yep, exactly.
You hit a lot of those...
Oh yeah. I was like, nope, sorry, can't do it. I don't care if you're Kate Upton, and I bet she's dumb. I bet she is. I'm not.
Nah, I'm gonna retract on that.
You think?
No, I would totally bang Kate Upton.
No, I mean, do you think she's smart?
No. I don't know, though. But my point is
But you would
I don't give a
still.
shit if she makes me laugh or not. As long as she's making me come, I don't give a shit. If I can drizzle my jizz on those sweet titties, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I can get behind that. Literally.
But, you know, you'd be behind. No, but I see. I know exactly what you're saying. Though.
Right.
Is-
Maybe I took it too far with the supermodel, but
Or, you know, yeah.
yeah, but you know, there is something to be said about a
By the way,
dumb
I'm not
person.
going to vote for my leader because they're hot. Or I
Right,
would
like
fuck
that's
them.
the problem with
Or
America.
like I would go have a beer with him. Like those two things. Like I'd fuck him. I'd have a beer with that one. Let's put him in office. No,
Right.
The people I do fuck, I don't think are that great of leaders.
and
the
the
people
pro-
I have
that's
a
the
beer
problem.
with are fucking morons.
That's the problem with America. This just goes to show how shallow people are. I'm a very shallow person. I'll admit that.
incredibly.
But I'm also not going to be shallow when it comes to a major role in America.
No,
I'm not going to vote for someone because they're hot. Sure, I'll probably nail someone because they're hot.
of course.
But
that's what that's
that
for.
has no relevance in my life.
No, because
I
what you're
can-
hoping for, instinctually, that your intelligence and that your personality will come through. her hotness will come through, and you have like a great kid. Even that's not what you
Right.
want, but
Right.
instinctually that's where you're going.
Yeah.
I missed the. I missed the target completely when it came to my kid. You know what I mean? He's amazing.
You have a good-looking kid, though.
Yeah,
I think he'll be a stud when he grows up.
He looked like me though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks for later
his
on.
His future's not looking bright.
No, he's gonna be a stud when he grows up. He's gonna get a lot of poo.
He's also very intelligent.
He is.
I hope he's not though.
Smart?
Like no, I hope he's not going to get a lot of poon.
Why?
I hope he's like very, like,
Why?
all about himself. Like, only wants to stay inside. Doesn't want to.
Really?
Because I don't want him to burn out before he.
Like me?
Like no, I don't want him like the best years to be of high school. You know what I mean?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because those people always suck. Because all they do is talk about how great high school was. They never move on.
That's true.
You
See,
know?
the funny thing is, my best years were through high school, but it's not because of high school. My high school sucked. It was because of the friends I hung out with outside of high school.
And because the years after have sucked.
Oh my god, no kidding.
No, but I want his best years to be when he's in his late 20s or mid 30s,
Mid 70s.
You know, yeah, when he's in his
When he's
40s,
boning grandma.
making his fortune, you know, whatever.
Right.
But I don't want it to be in high school. I just,
No, right.
You're too young to even enjoy that. I will have a good talk with him about, like, at some point, maybe in college, whatever. But get it while you can get it.
College? You want to wait till college?
I don't want to tell him in high school to go get it while you can get it, because he's in
Why?
fucking high school.
Why?
HPV.
Oh.
And if we're still living in this area, yeah.
Well,
Who knows
okay.
what else you might catch? That's my thing. Like,
I mean, teach him to be safe.
yeah.
That's what, like, I'd probably tell my kid right about 15. Be like, look, check this out.
Well, you gotta give him the talk.
Right, but
I'm
I
not
would-
against the talk. I'm saying
No, I know, but I would, at about 15, I'd probably say, check this out. I know, I can tell you all I want. I'm not going to stop you. It's not going to stop anything you want to do. Just be safe. I'd rather you wait till you're 17 or 18, but I understand considering I lost in a young age.
a very young age.
Very young age. Be like, I understand.
Lost it to 5 to your uncle.
You're right. My anal virginity. But, yeah, you know, try to wait until you're 17 or 18, but if not, just be safe. Even after that, be safe.
No, and I mean,
But-
you got to be like brutally honest. You got to be like condom, pull out,
Yeah.
and spermicide.
Oh, yeah.
All 3.
But parents, I think, are fools, by the way, if they think that telling their kids not to do it is going to stop them.
No, it's not.
That's not going to stop
It doesn't work.
I
Yeah.
grew up in a very religious home.
That's like telling cancer to go away.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't work.
Right. Like, I think it's more, and see, I've had this discussion with my parents regarding schools and about handing out condoms and stuff. They see it as they're encouraging kids to have sex, and I tell them, I'm like, no, you were this age once. They aren't encouraging anyone to have sex. They would rather them wait, but they know they aren't going to.
No.
So would you rather them be safe and prepared?
I hate to cut you off here, but just real quick, I want to mention something.
Okay.
Do you know, I'll have you guess real quick, the record for the most amount of tornadoes we've had in a 3-day period in America, and what month that was in?
Okay. I'm going to start with the month.
Okay?
I'm going to say June.
Uh-huh.
Is that right?
No.
No? Okay. 27.
105
Oh my god.
in November.
Jesus.
Didn't think that. I just read that on
105. What year was this?
92.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't remember.
They must have been pretty small
apparently,
ones.
Apparently, though, November is the second most aggressive month for tornadoes.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's a new one on
I
me,
thought
too.
it'd be earlier on.
But listen, we got to let you guys go. Thanks a lot. We will try to do a show tomorrow or the next day.
Yep.
Try to keep them coming out. Thanks a lot.